Hello everybody, welcome to Let's Talk League. I'm here with Christopher Draycott. I'm Tom Lister.
Good evening.
And we're ready to go. Okay, so basically we're going to be talking about the current League of Legends Championship games in detail, but to a point where the average gamer can understand. Sometimes some of these interpretations of the games can go really in.
A simplistic advanced method, we'll call it.
Yes.
Simply advanced.
We're going to trademark. We're going to trademark that and copyright that because that's just the type of people we are. We don't want other people using our ideas. Okay, so we're going to start off with the 3 games, and Chris is going to tell us all about these.
So we start off with Team Liquid C9. Then we will move on to the top of the league clash in NA, TSM and CLG. And we'll follow that up with my favourite game for the past ever. You will never see as much excitement in the game between Unicorns of Love and Fnatic. It was just a bloodbath. So we'll leave that until last.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, they say save the best till last, Lister.
What better time to start? We might as well get straight in. And we're going to get right in there with Team Liquid versus Cloud9. What have you got to say about these bans and picks?
So first of all, I want to have a quick word about Piglet. He's had a lot of grief, a lot of hassle, because he's been in and out of the team, on the bench, off the bench, doesn't know whether he's coming or going for games. Because Keith McBreeze has been playing really well for Team Liquid. Most of their wins are with Keith as their carry and not their world champion Korean.
Exactly.
Which I don't know why. It could well be the fact he's just not transitioned very well. Happens to a lot of overseas players. Or just play style. Keith is a bit more of a team player than Piglet. Piglet is the carry. But Keith can mould with the team that a little bit more.
Well, I think a big thing as well is the rule changes. Like, all teams have to have a manager now, and that manager is going to do what's best for the team. So
yeah, it depends about backroom personnel as well. Maybe there's obviously different personalities, big personalities. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So, okay, let's get straight into the champions and the bans.
So first up, just a quick word on the first pick. Dominate plays so much of that Rek'Sai. Just every other game he ends up picking Rek'Sai, which is fair enough. It's a high priority, top tier pick. So that's gone away. But you look at the picks and bans, there's so many high priority champions that are still available, and there's so many that are picked here. So straight away, as soon as he gets that first pick, Cloud9 get exactly what they want with the Lissandra and the Maokai. Instantly you've shown your hand though. You've shown what you're going to have in the top lane, you've shown what you're going to have in the mid lane.
Exactly.
Just the lockdown on them 2 champions is huge.
And it's unbelievable. Like that
you don't
they're
want
able
to receive net.
No, exactly.
But then what puzzles me about the entire composition out of either team is a Mundo. Now Mundo's been picked twice in NA, I think it was. And for good reason, because he's lost both games. Yeah, you're going to get to that really, really late game super carry, but you've actually got to get to 45 minutes first. And yes, he's going to stand around and not die, but Amundo stood there shouting quotes and throwing cleavers isn't very good when the rest of your team is already dead. So, the Janna, they've reacted to that. Janna's a huge pick as well right now. For the dive, you've got all that dive. Janna is going to knock back, but we can see from that team comp, she's the only peel. There is so much pressure on X Special to stop all that engage.
Exactly.
And then when you're throwing the Nautilus and Vi as well, that's 4 press buttons to lock down AD carry champions, and that's no fun for Piglet.
It's exactly what Piglet doesn't want. It's exactly what the Cloud9 do want.
It gets enough stick as it is, and they're going to throw a composition like that at him. That's just rude from Cloud9.
Anyway, right, we're going to get straight in. We're going to get into the game, and let's get in some juicy action.
So at the minute, there's been a lot of CS, and it's just the general stuff you'd expect. Liquid actually got the first kill, dominate on that Rek'Sai, making plays. But if we just pause it a second.
Yep.
So you can see it's a nice. Just want to talk about this Nautilus support. Nautilus works in a similar, he says, manner to the Leona. There's still a lot of debate amongst everyone whether Nautilus is actually better.
Yeah.
I think the general consensus is they've both got a shield. Nautilus does a bit more damage than the Leona, but Leona is a bit more certain of more than one stun.
Yeah.
Or CC. Nautilus, like Zenith Blade, has got the hook, but it's the ult where Nautilus comes in. It will lock you down. So if you just roll on, definitely got the right time, yeah.
Yep.
First blood. Where's our junglers?
I believe we've already had first blood, and that's my issue.
We've seen the first blood. So coming up, we should see Piglet coming in for a kill. Well, for his death. It's so simple in reality. Just you'll see the power of a Nautilus.
Here we go.
There you go. Yeah, it's really simple. Straight away, pause it here.
There we go.
Yeah, you've got no deep wards in the Cloud9 side of the jungle, because Rek'Sai has been, up until now, he's been in the top side. Wherever your jungler is, where he's focusing, you end up having more vision that side.
Yeah.
So Meteos he always visits that bottom lane multiple times early on. We see it in every game, but especially on this Vi. It's him and a few Europeans that really do like that pick because it's so certain. But once she's got that flash ult onto Piglet, it's up in the air. That anchor is going to land. It's such an easy kill, and this is the starting of something really bad for Piglet.
And we'll just roll this on so that we can get a good view.
It's just easy. You see the teleport coming in from the Mundo as well.
Yep.
But there's nothing he can do, and obviously balls has arrived. That's added the roots down. It's just easy.
And the thing is, with them all being in the bot lane, it's easy. It's easy gold. It's easy experience. It's easy map pressure, and that's what they want.
Yes, they get on the backside of that. They managed to get a few wars down as well. So that's obviously good.
Yeah.
And it keeps Piglet low.
Yeah.
Like if you want to focus on this Callista. But early game, she's not as strong as others, perhaps. So, the next fight is just a bloodbath. It's 20 minutes in. It's bot lane for Cloud9 is in the bot lane. Dominate really likes to make these Baron calls, but as soon as that tree link goes in, this is just a rout. Callista ults herself, and she gets damage on all 4 champions. Let's not forget. The bot lane isn't even involved in this. This is a 3 versus 4. But this is what I will dominate. It really does like to do them early dragons. And against this kind of team comp where it can just all in, Lissandra as well, you've got no chance. If you're trapped in that Baron pit, that's exactly where, around them objective, this is where Team Cloud9 will excel in them team fights.
And I mean, like we can see Piglet there just picking up the vision, but it's it's for nothing. It's for nothing.
It's a foolish kill. He knows that they're there. He knows they're doing it, and he knows he's going to get locked down. So that's just silly on his part, and makes his score not look the best.
Yeah.
Now again, this is a problem where you see with the Mundo. Mundo doesn't actually do anything at all for this team comp. Yes, Rek'Sai is top tier jungler. Janna can knock them all back. Cassiopeia is going to get stuns off. Again, another kind of peel. And she's got a ton of damage, that Callista. Sorry, not the Callista, Cassiopeia. With the reworks and her burst, she's absolutely through the roof once she gets to that 40-minute mark. So she's doing a lot of damage. But I just can't see why the Mundo's put in there. Surely it'd have been, if you put the Morgana in there, perhaps something like this, it's unavoidable. It's
Well,
avoidable.
You'd have just thought they'd have been better with, I wouldn't say a more meta pick, because especially with the pro players, nothing is meta.
No, I agree with that one.
But then there's
just the Mundo. It doesn't
Mundo.
really offer up. No.
And just not with that team comp. Not at all.
It doesn't do a lot for me. You're just going to run past Mundo in a fight, which we'll actually see later on. So if we want to go to 28 minutes in, right, this is it. This is it. So there is no vision around around the Baron for Team Liquids. They know that Baron's up. I've seen time. So Baron's just respawned. Obviously, Cloud9 know exactly where they are, so they're setting up the trap. Now, normally you'd see the trap a bit further back, not in this side bush. And I don't see why Quas on Mundo goes in. Why he doesn't go in. He's a Mundo. They use sweeper way too fast. Pause it here, because that's a really important thing. Now, they've rushed out from the side brush. The fight's on. So Piglet instantly has to flash away from the Nautilus hook. That's horrible of him, because she's losing so much damage. If he doesn't flash away... You
can see right there that she is now... the Callista is now miles out of the action.
Out the fight.
There's nothing that Piglet can do.
If she doesn't flash, then she's either going to get grasping root. What's the Maokai? You get rooted by the Maokai. You know you all know what I mean when it comes to Maokai.
Basic level.
Nautilus anchor. He did say. Or you're going to get a Nautilus anchor to the face because it's on the corner. With that flash, he's actually made a lot of distance.
Yeah.
And got out of it. So Lissandra doesn't ult him.
If we just roll that on,
he gets out of it quite well here. You miss out on a lot of damage. So meanwhile, whilst this is all going on, his team's dying. Now, if you pause it again, so near the brush towards Dragon's side, you get the Janna ultimate come off. All the pressure is on X Special to get a really good ultimate off, because he's their only source of peel. Now he does that, but when they've got that many tanks, when he ults, Piglet's not actually doing that much damage. He's not hurting any of the carries. He's attacking the tanks. There is no way that he's ever getting to Lucian. You see Lucian, he's untouched. He's just had a Mundo stand next to him for the fight. Mundo's not going to kill him. You compare the damages of the two team comps. There is a lot more on every single champion. Even the Nautilus compared to the Janna.
Yep.
They did it. The tanks are killing Piglet. And then because he's flashed, he comes back into the fight way too late, because he's had to use that flash.
And he's got no more escapes. Yep.
He's got no resistance. His team's dead, apart from the Mundo who stands there being Mundo. But like I said at the start, Mundo's not going to do anything on his own. He's just going to throw cleaves and laugh. So,
okay. And then we've got just a quick wrap up of the.
Yeah, if you just go towards the end, it's the same again. I really feel sorry for poor Piglet. It can't be nice. This is just a trademark pick. We've had Cassiopeia dies to a Nautilus anchor, and then there's all that follow up to come in. It's just simple stuff.
And they're just doing it under the tower. There's nothing Team Liquid can do.
They are that tanky. You see X Special up there. They just walk through it when it's done. There's no damage follow up. Piglet, he's got 3 items there. You look at the Lucian, it's got a whole item.
And I just love it how sneaky he was taking in all of that tower damage, but it wasn't hurting him. It just wasn't doing anything.
It's 30 minutes into the game, and it was really, really, really clean in Cloud9. So if at home you want to play a 5v5 comp and you want to win a game and kill the AD carry, pick Nautilus.
Even if it's support Nautilus, we've seen here today, ladies and gentlemen, it clearly works.
You're going to see more Nautilus support. It's a support, not a jungler. It's a fact. But It could well be because his jungle clear is actually really slow. His movement speed is slow. The buff is clear a bit with his AoE.
Yeah.
But he's coming into the back of the meta as support.
Okay, so we've got another game. We've got the Team Solo mid game versus CLG. So we'll go straight through the. We're going to rush through this game because we've got the Unicorns of Love versus Fnatic game too.
I'm in a hurry for that one. Believe me.
So we're going to just quickly breeze through this one.
First pick. This is really simple for Dyrus. It's such a safe. Lulu's such a safe pick. Flex pick. We've seen it top. We've seen it mid. We've seen it bot lane. Not on. I don't think Lust Boys played it, and I don't think you really want Bjergsen on Lulu. It was going to be top lane for Dyrus. He loves that champion. The champion loves him, even if he does sometimes feed it a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just sometimes.
Our Dyrus.
And then yeah. And then for the 2 picks on CLG, if you just pause it a minute.
Yep.
You've gone past. Never mind. We'll leave it there. I remember the picks. So next up, we had the Rek'Sai and the Janna picks. Fairly standard. We saw both these champions last game. Rek'Sai's top tier pick. Every team wants that Rek'Sai if it's available. And Janna. Picking Janna instantly shows we want to protect our cows. We want Double Lift to live.
And I mean, the issue is that with a lot of solo queue players trying out that Janna, it does rely on you to have the team, and that's why it works so well in top tier plays and 5v5s. She is perfect.
If you're playing in teams, then you can really use that disengage.
Oh yeah,
so much, and it's really effective against the likes of Zed, which we do see come in for Team Solo mid.
Yeah.
He's going to death mark in. He's going to knock back again. Double lift will live. So he went for the Jinx. So this, I wasn't too sure about this because having Jinx shows you are prepared to go for the late game. I think I'd have preferred him on something more like the Callista.
Yeah.
The Corki. He's played a lot of Corki. So maybe that would have been better. But
we'll see. Anyway, we've got the first point of talk.
So
this is here.
We went straight for a lane swap. This was a really simple dive. On Zion's been playing tanks recently, but he does go back to this cannon. It's a really strong pick. But there's so much potential if Lust Boy gets a hook or a fly onto him. The damage from Turtle on a Corki is going to die.
Yeah.
So you can here we go. We see the Sejuani coming up. She's just doing her side jungle. Obviously, has been pushed under the tower. You see this routine dive. It's really quite simple.
It's set up just perfectly. It is set up just perfectly.
Keep an eye on Lust Boy here, because this is how they do the aggro is brilliant. So he takes all the hits, goes to the side, and just stands out of the way, takes them hits, so that his team can just walk away, no damage done. Now that is how you dive.
Yeah, you set it up
so
the tanks are taking it.
If I did that in solo queue, my support will hit it. Their top lane will get a double kill, and we lose the game.
Yeah,
that's what normally happens.
Yeah.
So a trademark lane swap. Luckily, they do get something out of it. Bot lane, they get a lot of pressure onto Dyrus here. So
that's exactly what you need.
Dyrus, TSM kind of forsake Dyrus a lot of the time and just let him fall behind because they know he's going to get back into the game at some point.
So we've got the next point of action.
11 minutes. I've got down. Yes, I just wanted to look at level differences, and we'll keep an eye on the top side here. Top lane CS, it's all going fairly well here. We've got a nice even gold lead. CLG did take the dragon. That's what you get when you make that lane swap. You keep your bot lane. You're guaranteed the early dragon, unless you make a complete misplay of it. The early dragon.
We did get the tower trade for TSM for the dragon. So
after we saw that.
Whether or not people see that as worth, that's their decision to make.
There's a lot of debate about that because I know that Gambit's coach, and he prefers that Gambit don't fight that early dragon.
Yeah.
They will actually take a top tower and get the gold, because if you give up them 2 dragons, if you pause it here 1 minute, I'll just talk about dragons.
Yeah, no problem.
So if we just talk on subject to dragons for a minute, I asked him in a Q&A, and lucky me, got a reply. What a nice guy. And if you let them take the first 2 dragons and you get 2 towers out of it,
Yeah.
so if they do, you can rush that top lane if you're in the lane swap. You can rush that mid lane, get the pressure down. So that's you've got that amount of gold, X amount of gold. They've got some stats, and when teams really start to vary, is the 3rd dragon, because that's when the pressure of 5 starts to come in.
Yeah.
2 is chaseable, but the next dragon you're going to come in with a 2 tower gold advantage.
Yeah.
Which means that you will, even in an evenly matched situation, that extra gold will win you that fight. You will take that dragon.
And in most cases, it's not.
2-1.
In most cases, especially with this game, it's not evenly matched. We got that first blood on Team Solo Mid.
Yep.
The CLG, they've taken the dragon. Team Solo Mid have got a tower. They've got a huge gold difference. It's huge for them.
Go back to my point about Dyrus. Dyrus is often forsaken. In a Corki fresh lane is kind of on a Kennen than a Jinx Janna lane is on a Lulu. That Lulu's going to have a horrible time. Really not fun. So if you roll it, it just gets straight up killed by Smithy.
Exactly. Yeah.
On that Rek'Sai. That's another thing that makes Rek'Sai so strong. The 1v1 potential is fantastic.
Yeah.
So moving on.
So moving on.
So we get to the fight here. TSM, they want this 3rd dragon. This gives them a lot more pressure. That means like in 15 minutes you could have 5 dragons after this one. Really puts a lot of pressure on them to get this. So you've got the Sejuani. Sejuani's got huge pressure. Just you've got to really respect that. But that's the thing, Bjergsen in the backside. You don't want to say coming in from the back. Now if you pause it here.
Yep.
Pause. Now where's Kennen? That fight. You see the Kennen. Kennen's altered.
He's right. He's right in the back.
Kennen's out the way. He's done no damage this fight. In a different situation, that's a lot of teams actually pick the Janet into a Kennen or a Lee Sin just to get that kickback. So if Karen here, there's a lot of issues. Smithy is just getting murdered by Bjergsen. He does go down, but in the end, it's only a 0-for-1 until Turtle. No one quite knows what Turtle decided to do. We have no idea why Turtle goes back in. He can't kill anyone. Well, yeah, he's killed Janna, but do we really count Janna? Is that a worthwhile trade? It's not, is it? There's no need for that to happen.
It's just greed, unfortunately. That's the only...
So they didn't do his KJ any good.
No.
The guy's dead. So they go back. It's a relatively free dragon. There's no problem with this, even though they've Rek'Sai by this point is respawned, is altered back in. This is for nothing.
Yeah. And that's dragon right there.
So that evens the game up. It's dead even. What? There's 500 gold between them 2 teams there. Yes.
Just quickly zoom in. Yeah. 500 gold
at 25 minutes.
That's no magic mantle. It's nothing.
Yeah. So this actually, I personally think this favours CLG. CLG have got the late game team there. Corki is going to lose to a Jinx late game.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, when that Rek'Sai gets all of it, when Rek'Sai's getting armor, he'll get that Randuin's. He'll get them tanky items. Corki is not a natural tank killer.
Nope.
Which I personally think will be really hard for him this patch with the return of a lot of tanks in late game in the jungle. We could see the death of competitive Corki.
Unfortunately.
He's a fun champion.
And it's with that addition of the new jungle item as well, it's making tanky junglers so much more viable. It's bringing them back in.
You can just clear jungle a lot faster. But a lot of them, they actually don't gank now. A lot of junglers, tanky junglers, like we've seen at Nunu a few times.
Yeah, and the Sejuani as well. Like the ganks are good and they're there.
But you've got 2 tanky junglers that don't actually want to gank because they just want to CS, and that means their lanes are just going to be farming, which means the top lane mid lane, they're all just going to be farming unless they can mechanically, individually outplay their opponent, which it happens, but not as often as you see in the likes of solo queue and whatnot.
No.
You don't see as many 1v1, 2v2 kills.
And I mean, that's where the junglers like Rek'Sai and Lee Sin and
big playmakers.
The playmakers, that's where the solo queue, and that doesn't mean they're not good in teams, that just means that they are good individual champions on their own. They don't require...
They do a job in teams, but the whole point in... What's going to happen because of these extended laning phase, these lack of kills,
yep,
you're going to see more teams getting to 40 minutes, 45 minutes. You're going to get a lot more late game teams.
And that's why in the lower elos as well, that's why champions like Nasus are working. People that scale well into the late game.
The last time we saw Nasus in LCS, Darius played it, and it didn't end well. He got annihilated.
Could this be the return of late game Nasus?
Could it? Please. I don't want to see that later. So, if we move on to our Baron fight, I believe. So, keeping all eyes are on double lift at this point. You look at double lift on that minimap.
Look at where he is. He's coming.
Yeah, you can see he's going to clear this wave. You can see that TSM are setting up for Baron. They are in position at 30 minutes. They've got Z. They can shred a Baron. Cannon's bot lane. Double lift is recalling. You can see the pings coming out onto double lift.
And it's almost as if like CLG are kind of saying, "What are you doing?"
They've just started Baron. They know that all of CLG's damage isn't there, and that was.
Hold on a minute. I just want to quickly just go back here. I can't tell if it's a misplay. This Ahri here, was that a misplay? Was that? I mean,
what, wanting to go? No, she didn't want that. She like obviously you got to throw an orb in. Pray that somehow the Sedge has missmited.
Yeah.
It's not smite vicious. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Right.
Only Saint Vicious misses them smites. So that's just completely turned this game on its head.
We're going to move on now. We're going to move on now to the Unicorns of Love game. And...
Whoa, last thing. I want to go to that last fight. Like that, at this level, this shouldn't be happening. This is so simple. They've gone back, they've picked up another Baron, they've got 4 dragons. You see the burst of a couple of Corky Rockets does on Ahri's Link. Link's Ahri. Wrong way around there. It's like, Link doesn't belong to Ahri.
Ahri's now playing Link. The League champions have taken over.
Yes, you are currently seeing Jinx double lift. No, yeah. Jinx on double lift.
Yeah.
But no, this is really routine stuff. It's
just a quick simple mop up.
Boy with God hooks, and there, again, Cannon, so easily countered. When he gets stunned up, Wild Turtle, QSS. That's such an easy thing to do. He's even got the ultimate for good measure. Double lift does pick up a good kill, but then you see what happens here. Lust Boy just being the god again. He lands so many hooks that fight, and that costs CLG a game in a perfectly winnable game with a late game that should be in their favour.
And it's just a free game for TSM.
It is. As soon as they get that Baron, you get all that pressure and all that. A lot of people, they don't see that when you get a Baron, you get so much map pressure.
Yeah.
You can get all them deep boards, you can push, you can split. Zed's mean enough on his own split pushing, but you put in with super minions, that's not going to end well.
And it's also it's a different matter slightly, but that's like taking that first dragon. That it does offer that map presence, but like we've said, if it all depends on how you want to play. If you want to play the gold game, then
I personally prefer when I play with teams. I prefer to trade them first couple.
Yeah,
because I just feel that it's better to get them items
rather than doing like a smite steal play and dying. It's actually better to just leave it.
What I prefer not to do is do a double lift and recall fully viewed in the mid lane and give up a free Baron. Which they need to work on that. Again, late game decision making, like we called up at the start, not the best from our good friend CLG. And that means they get 2-0'd by TSM, and in the event of a tie, they lose.
Yep.
So they'll finish the split in second, unless Cloud9 catch them, of course.
Right. Well, it's the game of the night. The game we've all been waiting for.
I love this game, It's just...
It's action upon action upon more action. It is unbelievable.
Good luck to my voice. So, straight into champs, like, this excites me. When you first pick Nanny, that tells me you just want to kill things. You want to flash and throw teddy bears at people in their face and tell them they're not coming to Tibber's tea party. And that's just so cool. But on the other side, so it's really quite a typical Fnatic team comp. Graves, good early game. Nautilus, we saw that to devastating effect in our first game of the evening.
Yep.
Lysandra, of course, decent early, good mid, good late, good all-rounder. Forbidden really loves these assassin champions as well. He's played a lot of LeBlanc. We've seen what he can do. It's huge. Sejuani, just if you want to team fight, you've got Sejuani.
Yeah.
But on the other side, it's really quite interesting. They don't show their hand until the very end. Caitlyn, Annie, maybe you're looking at it, you're thinking maybe that's a bit of a mismatch up. Because one wants to go in, or one wants to kind of sit at the back, just poke out their opposition bot lane.
Yep.
And then you've got Nunu for the Blood Boys. So maybe at this point you're thinking, well, yeah, they've got a comp, they want to poke, they want to siege towers with that Caitlyn's range, with the Blood Boy, or get that extra attack speed down there. But they throw in the Cassiopeia, which standard-ish pick. We've seen a lot of it recently.
And it kind of counters the all-in aspect of the Fnatic. As we can see, we've got the LeBlanc, we've got the Sejuani, we've got the Nautilus. That Cassiopeia area of effect damage is going to absolutely shred, assuming Unicorns of Love can get on top.
Now, if anyone's ears pop for me shouting, "Oh my god," when it comes to Cassiopeia bursting people's health bars, then I apologise. But the big pick here is Vizichachi on Yorick. Not jungle. I wish it was jungle myself, but then we saw that last season on AOX for the Wolves, and that failed miserably. So it's probably a good idea it's not jungle.
Yeah.
But in the top lane, Yorick, if he's going to get to late game, gets his tier, and starts just spamming ghouls and ghouls and ghouls, and then he's going to pick up one of his main main damage dealers, then it's going to be so hard for Fnatic late game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So in reality, it's just absolute chaos from the off. It really is mad from the off. So if you want to get into that 3-minute mark, listen.
2 minutes 47.
There we go. So the flash stun from the Annie, that's really good. But you see, Nautilus has been stood around the corner as a human ward. There's just 4 people bot lane. It's absolute chaos. But despite everything, I've got to question Forbidden Juice of Flash there. Why he did that? You look at the end of the fight, he's got Ignite up. But that entire fight, that's not the best bit about this. The fact that they've wasted so much time and not got anything to mid lane, that's not even the point. Top lane has got a little bit of a freeze going. So that lane is going to push into Caitlyn.
Yep.
He's going to get all the farm he needs. That means Huni is going to have a real hard time. It's a Caitlyn lane. That's not fun. But in the bot lane, Vizichachi is gone against Steelback. By the time the support Nautilus gets there, he's already level 3. He's absolutely fine CSing.
Yeah.
He's got his goals. You need to keep that Yorick down. Otherwise, your team just is going to fall apart to a Yorick. So, if we move along, Power of Evil is too far pushed up. He hasn't got the vision. X Special loves, in the lane swaps, the support's thrown so much, and X Special just loves to roam, that's the one. To roam anyway. Nunu's just chilling, taking his dragon.
I think it's a good thing with the Nunu as well, is that like we were saying about the tanky comps, but the Nunus consume almost acts as a second smite, and it gives him health.
You can consume for days. It's so simple. Now, they've moved Hooney down to the bot lane here. They want him to get some of that CS because he's a long way. He's like 30, well, what's that? 25, 26 CS behind his Yorick counterpart. That's a matchup that in a 1v1 it goes in Sandra's favour. So after this lane swap, they've done a really good job. Now this, God, that's just an easy pickup on for Bivin. It's so simple. You note, as soon as he jumps in, PoE has got his ult. So he's ulted as he stood on the Cassiopeia. And then Annie comes in with a stun as well. He's got no chance of surviving. Really, 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 really well played. Really simple. And then it all just breaks loose. And this is how the game continues.
It just...
I don't think we actually had a laning phase this entire game past 1 minute 50. There was no laning phase. I can see your face. It's just chaos, isn't it?
it's like we've got the Yorick coming in. He's ulting the Annie. Annie's going in, to try and mop up, and Yorick's just kind of like, yeah, I'm not having any of that. And then Fnatic are kind of like, yeah, we gave up first blood, but we've just got 2 kills, so we're not too bothered. And
it's actually a really teleport from Hooney. Give him credit for that.
And I mean, like, as we can see, like
the crowd's chanting Hooney, Hooney, Hooney.
And as we can see, we've just action, more action. While this is happening, Graves is putting damage on the top lane. It's just insane.
It's chaos.
And I think what's quite good about this,
Bag dies. Oh my god.
It's just a perfect trade.
I can't even recall what happened. It's
absolutely chaotic.
Yeah.
But yeah, it goes back to the Fnatic's play style and Unicorns of Love play style that they don't like. They do, but they don't have laning phases. Yeah. Neither of them. So this is just kind of like a bloodbath of epicness.
Yeah. Although saying that, Fnatic have been a lot more consistent in their play over recent weeks. Unicorns, I believe they're about even in the rankings. This takes them to 8 and 7. This one, I believe this game took it to 8 and 7 or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And I'm just so I'm excited.
It's just insane. It's just insane.
I can live with that. We're running from here. So as you can see, there's been more kills. What more did we expect? But again, Visit Chachi on that Yorick. I keep going back to Yorick. He's got that gold lead on his counterpart. Lissandra's really squishy here. She's only got a Monorelicon, which I can't pronounce, and she hasn't yet got a Zhonya's. In some of these team fights, if she'd have got that starting of the Zhonya's, it would have been so much better. Now, you see the engage straight away. That's a wasted ult. That's a really, really cool.
I can also question, like, even if they engaged at that point, why would you use it on the... I can understand why you would use it on the Annie, but...
It's not your priority target. Now, this is good from these guys over here.
And they're just...
That's a really... Annie then waits her ult, but this is really important. As soon as that Cassio ults, as soon as he Sejuani ults and he gets that lockdown, I need to stop this. So, coming up. There you are.
There we go.
Right, so, that's a fantastic ult. The only people that aren't... Hylissang is not altered. All of the priority, apart from a blood-boiled Caitlyn. Even though she's not had her greatest game, she's not 2-0 at this point. She's really not done a lot, but she's still got IE. She's still got Berserker's Greaves. She's still doing damage.
And just a tip for those new players out there: if you're going to blood boil anyone, blood boil your AD carry, because this is just an absolute massacre.
But that's perfect.
Clean up after clean up.
It does his job. But you can see, Vizichachi, he ults the Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia's died, but she's coming back to life with all that damage. He gets a 2-man stun, as opposed to a 3-man stun that the Sejuani does. But he gets it on for Bivin and Steelback.
It's
damage deal. Graves pops. Graves just drops out the question. Graves dies instantaneously. And that was just such a good ultimate from Cassiopeia.
It's just a thing of beauty. It really is. Right.
Really good plan from
We'll get to get to the
Okay.
next bit.
Where to start? Again, there's been more kills in between these two fights.
And I mean, 18-11 doesn't seem like a lot for your regular players, but
For the LCS,
LCS, that's 18 kills in LCS. It's unbelievable. It's ridiculous.
29 in 34 minutes. That's coming up to a kill a minute. So at this point, they've really started to hit power spikes. You see the Phantom that's coming in front of the Caitlyn. The Nunu's getting tanky. Yorick's getting tanky as well. He's got his cow.
This is just insane because
that frozen heart as well.
they're using that Baron buff perfectly. They're all in a lane. They're pushing it. They're gonna get 2 free towers.
This was a relatively easy Baron to pick up as well. That's the really sad thing. We didn't show that a free Baron. That's not fun when there's 4 for 2 mid lane fights going on.
And as we see here, they just push up.
Blood boil. That is going to go down.
That's a free inhibitor.
Yeah, simple stuff. They haven't. Vardas is the only one that's relatively hittable here. They can't actually kill anyone straight up because Yorick's just going to bring them back to life. So whichever one
it's like you kill Caitlyn, you kill Cassiopeia. She's coming back, and
now, at this point, you really want to kill the Cassiopeia over the Caitlyn. But if Cassio dies, they can't actually get to the Caitlyn because they've still got to go through that already dead Cassiopeia. So they've just got to run away from it.
At this point here, they literally just go B. They use that gold, they buy the items.
It's just really simple play. This is really nice, really controlled. So at this point, you're thinking, oh look, Unicorn, they've got so much map control. Well, so much for that with what happens in a few minutes. So we've just gone on about all that control. They've taken an inhibitor. They got the Baron. So there's nothing else on the map that they can really take without super minions.
And I mean, Fnatic do have a gold advantage, but
that's because of 8 kills.
But it's not huge.
It's not.
It's just
really
over 1,000.
There's a lot of control from Unicorns with the Baron. With the Dragons, but they've just given up a free Baron.
And I mean, I can't understand this. You would have expected them to.
Yeah. Yorick's died, but I thought they'd have gone in and just to see if they could keep him off it. You've still got that Cassiopeia, but I suppose with this is the pressure that the Nortella Sejuani Lissandra brings.
Yeah.
If they go in 4v5, if one of them hits an ultimate onto the Caitlyn, onto the Cassio, on that occasion, Chachi isn't going to be there.
No.
To bring him back to life.
Nope.
And their comp really does depend. Now this.
And this is insane. It's just
32 minutes, yes? Coming up to 32.
Yeah. And it's just a straight up mid push. Like, I mean, that mid tower was practically gone anyway. But
we'll keep watching here for a minute. Now, this is interesting. If we pause it here. So Annie has instantly dropped, but she's got her ult off. Vizichachi is you see the Vizichachi is just in the gap between the walls, and Vardas is in the back. Simple enough. Kikis is being Nunu, just spinning around in circles. Automatin being a Yeti, but steel back. Nothing's on steel back. Nothing in this composition, unless Cassio gets to him, can kill steel back. So if we roll on from there. Now, keep an eye on Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia pops. Now, stop again. Vizichachi on the Yorick dropped without actually ulting anyone. You can see it. Look next to his name. Tell me, his ult's still there, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's not ulted. If he was to ult
anyone
at this point, then he can a full health Cassiopeia back to life. He can probably take down one of the main damage dealers there. and save a lot of hassle. But if we roll on from here, because this is such a damn close call, I've watched this. I nearly jumped. They've got one super minion, just one. But they've got Yellow Star, they've got Sejuani, they've got tanks, and they've got a Graves. He's got his E. He can dash. You look at the recall timers. They've got Kikis up, but what's a Nunu going to do? The wave of minions comes in, and this is just too close to call. It's really close. A Nunu's not going to run that much interruption. Hylissang, Annie, it doesn't have all. He's just got to
completely dead.
It's just got to stand there and kind of hope they try and kill him. But the respawn time is right. The right gods are on their side. I mean, really.
It's no words can describe. Look, just look. It's just push.
It's team fight again. If Vizichachi ults, I feel that they still lose this team fight, but they only lose an inhibitor. They don't get anywhere near that close. I think that was just...
Even if he just ulted himself, it would have just provided that...
Yeah, it just didn't ult. I think he just got popped that fast. They had a change of plan. Instead of trying to kill the Cassio, they just tried to... I don't know, try to take down York instead to prevent the ult coming in, I suppose. But
which is the smart move. We're gonna get what you'd expect.
They've been up that side. They've respawned. They've gone up, taking the inhibitor. Caitlyn overstays. Caitlyn dies. So again, we're back. We're going to an open nexus again, but this time, Vizichachi ults Power of Evil,
and it's a bloodbath.
Keep an eye on Steelback. Keep an eye on Steelback. He gets chased down by Power of Evil, and then for Bivin in the backside, he's dead as well. And how often do we see this?
And ironically, it's Fnatic. It's Fnatic.
Now, this is really poor. I think Huni, if he doesn't try and kill Vardas, I think he ends the game there. If he just hits the Nexus, he wins. He wins the game.
And it's Fnatic trying to do an Xpeke and failing. And failing. It's...
Nautilus. I thought that super minion was going to end the game. I screamed a little bit when it didn't. I really wanted Unicorns to win this one so bad. So... I really think...
And you know in solo queue, you always get that guy that's just like, oh, surrender, the game's over. The game is not over. This game is not over.
Again, it's just the power of the Cassiopeia here. Forbidden ends up dying so quick. He gets caught.
But just watch this. Just watch... Like, if Power of Evil, if the ult was a bit like a Sion's ult, and, you know, like... You only die when your HP's down. He'd have just kept on going, but unfortunately, you only get so much time to do it. So
that's the Cassio damage at this point.
And as we can see, Unicorns have loved retaliating with a look. We're going to push up too. You can't stop us.
I think the next time they fight at their base, they are probably going to lose because they're just going to get ignored. All the carriers, they're just going to go for the base. They will lose. So best one with defense, attack. Why not? You're forgetting. They've got a Nexus tower down. Fnatic have. They've only got one Nexus tower. They've got an inhibitor down. And there's a series of errors. First up, Fnatic jungler. Look at the Sejuani ultimates. Coming up in a moment. He hits absolutely no one. I think he hits like the two tanks.
There.
No, he hits the support and the Yorick, which really isn't going to do a lot for you. So that's one ult down. And at this point, it then turns into an absolute mayhem. Good damage on to Kikis. Kikis, Nunu, not who you're going to want to put a combo into as LeBlanc. This team fight just depends on the game. Bivin drops instantly.
It's insane.
Again, a good ultimate. But look who's got ulted again. This time Fizzy dies. He gets his ultimate off. Good from the Nautilus there. And then Huni comes in. Huni plays this very well. Vardas is so close to going down. They just have to protect Vardas at all costs. Again, the power of the power of the damage from Power of Evil. Then,
and it's Vardas just going back again, and he's auto-attacking minions. He's stealing back life. He's
really good play. But
he's mopping this up, and the Huni comes in. Just not enough.
But you look at this. You look at this here. I think he thinks Red Buff's killed him.
And it's not
horrible.
And ironically, Fnatic got Xpecade.
Go back that 20 seconds just before the end, where you see that Steelback actually realizes that he's not killed him, and then he goes to flash after him. If he flashes at that point, and kills Vardas, he can turn around and kill Cassiopeia anyway. And
I mean, just look how happy Unicorns of Love are. That game was over, but it just wasn't.
It was over twice.
Yeah.
Actually, third time looking, but
look at them. And Fnatic are just got. They should have won.
Yeah, there's no excuses. God, it was such a messy game for both teams, but so well played all at the same time. There's so many mistakes, so many fantastic plays. Just play Yorick Cassiopeia every game, please. I love it.
It is absolutely unbelievable.
It is.
So, we've had our first 3 games of Let's Talk League. There's going to be many more to come, and we hope you enjoy.
We will improve, I'm sure.
Technicality issues.
It's a learning curve for us, as well as you at home.
If you'd just like to leave a comment in the comment section below, just letting us know what you think. What games would you like to see? What teams do you support? That's what we want to know. We want to give you the action. We want to break down on those teams that you like. Give us a subscribe. There's going to be more videos to come. And if you give us a like or a dislike, just showing us how you feel.
It helps us either way.
It helps us either way. And that's all for today on Let's Talk League.
Next week, we should have another up, because next week is the last week and it will decide the standings ready for playoffs. So I'm looking forward to that a lot, because there's going to be some big plays.
It's going to be insane.
We look forward to it a lot.
It's all that can be described. Thanks for staying tuned.